Welcome to bleachstain.com. Here we're going to do a little demonstration with a 1884 silver dollar. What we want to show is how thick the carpet pile is, how deep it is, and this has a major bearing in the correct procedure in restoring the color, because when we have a bleach stain, there are a lot of chemicals that can be trapped within the fibers. As a matter of fact, as bleach dries, it crystallizes, and whenever the moisture is at a certain percentage or the carpet gets wet, these bleach crystals can reactivate the bleaching agent. Here we had a bleach neutralizer, and we use this after we clean the carpet. And with all our products, we want to saturate the carpet really well. So what we normally do is we will spray one area, saturate it, and then we'll go back to that area and saturate again. Then when the carpet is completely saturated, what it's going to do is it's going to go into the backing a little bit. And then as we extract, we can use a Bissell or a wet vac, any machine that can suck up moisture. So each time we extract, it's going to suck up some of these chemicals that cause the bleach in the first place. And so this is something that we want to do in each step of the procedure. As we apply the dye, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to actually saturate it and extract it. Under no circumstances should you ever blot these with a towel. Yeah, it's really important to get all these chemicals out. One of the problems when we have some of the chemicals in, we don't get them out, is sometimes the next day some of the color will come out. Here's the reactant A that we're going to start with. We're going to do the same thing as I mentioned. We're going to saturate it. On a smaller spot, we use a stream and applying the dye. And you're probably going to wonder how we're going to dye all these with the same reactant. We will do that. We're going to use the same dye on each spot. It's a stream on the little spot and a mist on the larger stain. What happens is the lighter colored carpet will accept the dye more readily, a little quicker. And so what we're looking for is kind of a pale green, and so it's going to use less dye to turn pale green. And that's how we can do a lighter colored carpet versus a dark colored carpet. We use the same different reactants. We just use less dye. They'll change color quicker. So once again here, what we're going to do is we're going to saturate this really well, and we'll go back to the other spot and saturate it, and then come back again. Then the other thing is we'd never want to rub our fingers or our hand in these. You don't want to do that. They used to do that to feather in the dye because it wasn't exact, or they felt like there might have been a little bit of overspray pattern or something like that. So we don't want to do that. We want to be so exact that you can't really tell where the actual dye work or the actual dye was. Okay, now we're going to extract this, and that's going to pull out more chemicals. Each time it's going to rinse it. And when you do this too, you're going to have a more uniform dye pattern. It's going to look a lot better. It's not going to appear to be blotchy or some areas take more dye than others. Okay. Now, we evaluate after we extract, and in this case we can still see some of the yellow, so we're using the same reactant A again. We want to get rid of all traces of the yellow. And the yellow is kind of surrounding on that, that's kind of a dark blue-gray carpet, and there's a little bit of yellow there, so I'm kind of going around it. Then as we do the brown one, notice how we're kind of exposing the fibers. We want to saturate it really well, and sometimes we have to separate the fibers with our fingers. And so we're just gonna get that in there really good. And like I mentioned, you never want to rub that dye in. The old methods, what they used to use a eyedropper, and they used a more concentrated dye, and so they put it in there, and sometimes they'd blot it, or they may extract once or something like that. But the problem is the dye sometimes is on top of the carpet as they kind of blot it and they leave it very wet, or they might use a dryer of some sort. But the problem is it hasn't penetrated into the fibers, and so this way we know it's penetrating. Then, when people try to match colors, that can be rather difficult because there's so many, and if you have somebody else do it for you, it can be a challenge too. So this way you're going to be doing this yourself. And if you're not comfortable doing this, we have a lot of people that actually buy our system, a lot of professionals that are using the system, and they'd be happy to do this for you. When looking for someone that does this type of work, you want to ask 3 questions. The first one is, do they use carpet mill dye? You want the repaired area to feel and look the same as the rest of the carpet. So you want to use crayons. Here we're going to use the reactant B, and we're going to do the same thing. This time we want to do this until we don't see the green anymore. We're going to spray until we don't see the green. And once again, we're going to saturate it. Anyway, back to those 3 questions. The other one is you want to ask if you can do a off-white. And if they're hesitant or they say it can't be done, then they don't understand. What they're trying to do is match the color, and that's not how we do that today. We replace the missing colors, but we should be able to do a large off-white carpet, and we should be able to do that easily, and we should be able to match it and not worry about having to feather dye in or rubbing it in or anything like that. The last question that you should ask is, do you offer a 100% money-back guarantee? Okay, we kind of had to skip around a little bit, and I do apologize because we only have about 10 minutes to do this. But anyway, we've applied the reactant B, and so what it's going to do, it's going to get closer, and we do this until we don't see the green. Then, as we extract, we're going to evaluate the color again, and based on the color, we're going to either use reactant A or reactant B, and we'll kind of show you how you do this with our instructions. Don't give all the secrets away, because we don't want a lot of people copying this right now. We do have a patent on this, and we don't like a lot of people copying this. Okay, here we're getting a lot closer. And as you can tell, it's kind of hard to see right now, but these are just kind of a little bit of a touch-up. Then we do have a toll-free number that you can call us anytime. Well, actually, it's from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Or you may send us an email if you have any questions. If we can help find a professional that uses our system, we'd be happy to do that also. And remember, we are bleachstain.com. Don't confuse us with anybody else. We're the ones that started this, and yeah, that's pretty close. You can kind of see. Yeah, that's pretty deep. And this way, with the carpet being really clean, you got all the residue out, and it shouldn't wick up. There's a little bit in there. The penetration, it may have got the base of it, but yeah, you can reach down there and get it really close.